Om Shanti. Good evening. For today's session, the topic for today's session is Master Your Mind. In today's world, we have conquered technology, space, artificial intelligence, but many of us has not able to conquer the mind. Overthinking, the anxiety, addiction, fear, emotional pain, those are the emerging issues of the society nowadays. We know how to control the machines and others, but we haven't learned how to control my own mind. So today we will learn few techniques and tools. How can I control my mind? How can I be a master of my mind? If we see an example of a horse, a king riding a horse, and if king falls asleep, what happens? Horse will be uncontrolled. The journey will be dangerous and unpredictable. So this is what is happening when I'm not able to master my mind. I, as a soul, the king, and my mind is the horse. Horse is very powerful, but it's only useful when it's guided to the right direction, right? So we're going to learn few things. How can I keep my king? How can I keep the king awake? And how can we keep the horse powerful and guide into the right direction? Yes. So first thing is the king. We learn here Raj Yoga meditation. It's called Raj, means Raja, means king. And so the whole course, it's really tailored, like it's really teaching us how can I become the king of my own senses, right? We call human being as a human, as a body, we have 5 physical senses, and a being as a soul, we have 3 subtle senses. So being is the soul, the energy, the consciousness that has the 3 senses is mind, intellect, and sanskar, right? So to keep the king awake, to be the soul conscious, it's very important to know myself first. Who am I? Who am I really? The soul, the being, and what are the qualities of the soul? So the knowledge of myself is very important. So that's the first lesson of the Raj Yoga meditation course. And very interesting. The second very important part is, because the battery goes down, the king falls asleep. So how can I charge the battery? How can I keep the soul, the king, awake, energized, and attentive, right? So the meditation connection with the Supreme Soul would keep recharged the battery. And so the second lesson that we learn in Raj Yoga meditation course, very important one, which really help us for the meditation, because everyone loves to do meditation, but don't know how, who do I connect, right? So to know the Supreme Soul, who is my father, my friend, my teacher, and who recharge my battery. So that's the second part, that I can learn to help the king keep awake and attentive. It's very important. There's two lessons. That as the first one is the Raj Yoga meditation that we learn is, who am I? I'm the king of all my senses. And the second one is the Supreme Soul. Connection with the Supreme Soul, who is the father of the soul. Right? And the third part, which again help us to keep the king awake, is to know, it's very interesting lesson that we learn in Raj Yoga meditation, and that is karma lesson, the philosophy of karma, the law of karma. The most powerful law of universe is the law of karma, which gives me all the answers. Why, how? It makes me victorious from a victim. Why did he or she did this with me? Why this happened to me? All those answers could be, all those questions could be answered in that session of karma. That's one of the very interesting session that we learn in Raj Yoga meditation. And so the king could stay calm, awake, stable, and keep the horse in control, right? The fourth one is the drama cycle. And the drama cycle is the biggest cycle that has so many small cycles inside. Like if you will ever have looked at the watch, it is the big cycle, big circle, and then there is, if you ever open the small watch, it has so many small circles inside. And so here, the world drama cycle is one of the cycles that it has within so many cycles. Day and night cycle, the water cycle, the life cycle, the season cycle, so many cycles. But the world drama cycles also teach us about 4 times. And those 4 times, it's called golden age, 4 ages in the cycle. The golden age, the copper age, the golden age, silver age, the copper age, and the iron age. We all know about it, right? And so why I am mentioning these 4 ages is because our mind is like those elements. Like in the golden age, my mind is so pure, it's not getting influenced or affected by any negativities outside. And so that's very interesting to learn what it could be in the golden age. What if my mind is so pure and positive? What it could be the life like? So it's very interesting session. That's one of the Raj Yoga meditation as well. The second one is silver age, where the mind, it gets a little bit influenced. Like in golden age, I have no questions. I'm so content. Like my mind is so content. And then in the silver age, it goes down from 16 celestials to 14 celestials degree. You know how we measure the gold? It's like 24 carats is the pure gold. That so far we can say, right? So as my mind, which is the purest form in the golden age, and then it goes little bit degraded, it's in the silver age. So if you will see the silver metal, if it is in the moisture, if it gets exposed to the moisture, it will turn black. And so as my mind, because my state of consciousness is such in the silver age, that it will get influenced by a little bit of negativity, and that is why it's called silver age. So it's my consciousness, it's my mind, the stages of my mind, and that's how the time goes past by. And so in the copper age, if you can see, it gets exposed to the little bit of even a moisture, and it gets turned black right away, right? And think of the iron age. It gets rusty, oxidized so fast, and that's what we are living into the era right now. And so my mind is influenced and affected by all the negativity in the world. And so that lesson is also very interesting in Raj Yoga meditation course. So let's focus on the horse now. If I need to direct the horse into the right direction, guide it, and keep it healthy, what do I do? So the first thing I really important that I need to do is nourish it with the healthy food. And so how can I nourish my mind with the healthy food is first thing in the morning I do the positive affirmations, the elevated versions of the knowledge that in us, like in Raju, after we learn Raj Yoga meditation course, what we do is in the morning we have a class of like half an hour to 40 minutes every morning. And those really a very elevated teachings that we learn. And so those teachings really stays in my mind for whole day. So it doesn't matter how much of the exposures happens of the negativity, anything happens during the day, I am able to stay calm and stable. And so that's because of the nourishment that I gave it to my mind first thing in the morning. Instead of social media, negative news, any gossips, any comparisons and criticisms, all those negative things will really affect the horse. Horse, of course, become restless and journey becomes dangerous and unpredictable. So the nourishment, which is very important. How much am I paying attention to those nourishments, those content that I am consuming first thing in the morning, right? The second, what can I do? I need to be very kind to my mind. Kind to my mind. If my friends gets failure, anything that happens that really dishearten, I as a friend go and comfort. Give so much kind words that empower my friend. So I need to ask myself the question, do I do that to myself? What do I do when I make a mistake? What do I do? Do I criticize myself? Do I say you are not enough, you can never do this? What do I do? I need to be kind to my mind. Self-compassion, self-love, those things are very important. Then third things that really helps me is to eliminate 3 C's, which is very important. The 3 C's are criticism, comparison, and complaint, which really takes us into the negativity so fast, so quickly. And so if I'm able to take out those 3 C's, I am able to control the horse, to guide it into the right direction, because one positive thought is very powerful. Then fourth is the reins of the horse, that I need to make sure and I check it, right? And so we call in Brahma Kumaris, it's called traffic control. Every traffic on the road here and there is there because to prevent the accidents. And so if I am controlling the reins of the horse, means every few hours for a minute or two, I'm taking a pause. I'm checking on my mind. What direction am I going? Do I need to redirect it? Pause it. Give the right direction. Give those, positive affirmations. And that really helps. So controlling the reins. Now, if we say the mind, what is the main function of the mind? To create the thoughts, right? If we see during the day, we create about 60 to 80,000 thoughts. And the research proves that in those 80,000 thoughts, 80% are negative, 95% are repetitive, So think of it, if it's 80% thoughts are negative, if a glass of water has the 80% water is contaminated, would I drink it? No. So we are consuming 80% of the negative thoughts in one day. So what is the results? The negative thoughts are poisonous. And so in today's society, all these diseases are emerging. There is no solution for it. They said when I hold the grudges in my heart rate goes high, my blood pressure goes high. But when I practice forgiveness, my heart rate goes lower and my blood pressure gets stable. So I need to select what do I wanted to, really be very conscious. What do I select for myself? Because every thought I create, it's really produced the chemical in my body. If it's negative, then it produces the cortisol, the stress hormone. And if I practice peace and happiness, then it will produce the happy hormone, and that's called serotonin and dopamine. So it's really my choice. I am the creator. What do I select for myself, for my family, for my relations, for my destiny? Because each thought follows by the feelings. That feelings becomes my attitude. That my attitude directs my action. My actions becomes my personality. And my personality is my destiny. It really directs my destiny. So the thought is very important that what am I creating? But the raw material for thought is also what I'm putting in, what I'm consuming every morning and even during the day. Because if we say in the Kurukshetra, right, there are two teams. One is Kaurava and one is Pandava. The biggest team, if you can see, is the Kaurava team. And that's our negative thoughts. It's like a field in our mind as a Kurukshetra. So our negative thoughts are so many, and so as Kaurava's team. Kauravas during the Kurukshetra, right? And if we see the Pandava, they are very little. There are 5 Pandavas, and their team was very small as well. But what was the very important one was they had the guidance and power of Supreme Soul. And so I need to select what. So Raj Yoga meditation is also all about connecting with the Supreme Soul, getting the direction from Supreme Soul, empowering myself, becoming master of my mind. And so again, to fight against those so many negative thoughts, the doubts that I cannot do it, why is it happening with me, fear, jealousy, all those negativity is so big. And if I learned Raj Yoga meditation, I would have those positive thoughts, few but very strong. And I have, like, we can imagine in our mind there is two teams. One is so many of negative thoughts, one is so little of positive. But behind that positive thoughts is the guidance and empowerment of God, Supreme Soul himself. And so that's what we learn really in Raj Yoga meditation, right? And so the winner are the Pandavas, of course. So now let's see, if we also look at it, the science side of it, the first law of thermodynamics, what it says, the energy cannot be created, energy cannot be destroyed, it can only convert from one form to the other form. That's the first law of thermodynamics. Now, let's see, if I wake up in the morning and watch all this negative news, all those social media, all those comparisons, criticisms, everything, right? Now I filled up myself with all this, news that I thought that it's important, right? My each thought are energy. Now that energy not going to go anywhere. It is going to stay in my subconscious unless and until I put some positivity and neutralize it. I do some meditations, I do some, very powerful connection, the positive companies, anything that will neutralize it. It's very important. And if I'm not able to do that, it's going to come out in my thoughts again, in my words, in my actions. So the energy will not go anywhere. It will just convert. Second law of thermodynamics, it says the entropy will continue until the conscious energy will intervene. So again, if we can look at it, golden age, silver age, copper age, iron age, that's like an entropy, right? From new to the old. Raj Yoga meditation is when the Supreme Soul intervenes and it converts the iron age again to the golden age. And so all the negativity that is in the world, that is I am if consuming, it's very important to have that connection with Supreme Soul, to have that my original self, the original nature of peace, love, purity. Because as a soul, I have 7 virtues, 8 powers. Each one of us are built, inbuilt. It's like each one of us has it. It's just forgotten. We forgot about it. And so when we learn Raj Yoga meditation, we practice it and it emerges. We just remember it. You know how Hanuman forgot his powers. All it needed to be done is remember. And that's what we do in Raj Yoga meditation, that I am the soul, peaceful, powerful, loving. And so once I remember, I use those virtues, I practice it, what happens? If I use peace again and again and again, it increases, because what I use again and again, it's called neuroplasticity. That will change it, change my personality. Yeah. At the same time, when I use peace again and again, it turns into the power of tolerance. So each of my virtue is really convert into the power. The first thing I need to remember is who am I? What are my 7 virtues? And there are 8 powers. When I use the virtues, it will convert into the powers. I have those 7 virtues. Let's see. Peace, if I use again and again, it converts into the power of tolerance. Love, if I use again and again, it will convert into the power of cooperation. If I use power, it converts into the power to face. If I use happiness, it will convert into the power to adjust. Joy, if I use again and again, it will convert into power of detachment, power to withdraw. If I use peace and power together, it will convert into the power to pack up. And the last one is power of, if I use purity again and again, it's power to discern. So there are 7 virtues. If I use again and again, it converts into the powers. It's how simple it is. All I need to do is remember it, that I have it, and use it. And so It's called soul consciousness. If I remember I am a soul, I remember I have a 7 virtues, I remember to use it, and so I become master of my own mind. Instead of let mind driven through the emotions and habits, it becomes an addiction. So it's very important that how long I could be that soul conscious form. Like, remember that who am I? That's how simple it is. And give the loving direction to the mind that no, angry is not the way. Use love. Yeah? Use happiness. Use bliss. Instead of saying why it's happening with me, say why it came in my life, what it's here, why is it here to teach me, right? So it really changes the pathway, that the way I think, just by remembering who am I, just by having that connection with the Supreme Soul. So it's very important. Now, if we say the third law of thermodynamic, it says when the temperature is absolute zero, the entropy becomes minimal, very minimal. So here we are not thinking of the temperature zero, but we are thinking of the stable mind. When we learn meditation, my mind becomes stable, calm. The hormone level in the body becomes very much balanced. The stress hormones comes very low, and so my health improves, my sleep improves, my relationships improves. So all this benefit is by learning Raj Yoga meditation. You can say that meditators looks young. It's because it's a healthy aging. When we learn meditation, we are not fighting, we are not resisting, but we are just, become the solution of the problem. We are in the side of the solution of the problem. Like, we are not fighting with anything and everything or anyone. We are just understanding, we are just observing and using our inner power. How can I improve it? Like, the focus will totally change from outwards to inwards. That what can I use? Now I have 7 virtues, 8 powers, and I have so many opportunities to use it in my daily activities, my daily connections or communications. So it will change, it will transform the life, it will transform the way that we think, the way that we look at the life. So again, Raj Yoga meditation is really the transformer of prospect, like, how I'm looking at things, the people, the world, the situations. So it will change. If we look at the history, there are many, we can see Buddha, awaken, right? Awakened soul, who says, suffering is in my mind, only in my mind. Attachments are only in my mind. If we see the animal as a pet, they have the thread in their neck, we can see it. But as us, as a human being, we are tied up with so many attachments. But they are all invisible until and unless I learn who am I and what are my attachments. It could be the relationship, it could be the possessions, the positions, so much. And so the Buddha said, I create my own world. What I think is what my world is. Right? If you look at it, Mahatma Gandhi, he has fought the biggest empire through non-violence, through the mastery of his own mind, through the meditation, through the hunger, it's like so much of powerful tools that he used, and those through the discipline of his mind. He said the man is nothing but his own thoughts. So what I think, what I create, my outer world. So if I know how to master my inner world, my outer world will become beautiful, powerful automatically. If you look at it, Nelson Mandela, who stayed in prison for 27 years, who didn't do any wrong. He went in the prison with revenge, but came out from the prison, emerged as a powerful, disciplined being. He had practiced love, forgiveness while being in the jail. And so, look at it, he became a president of South Africa and prevented the civil war. So that's the magic of mastering the mind, right? If we can look at the Kurukshetra, Arjuna says, Krishna, I don't want to fight. My own relatives, how can I do this? Why is it happening with me? All these questions that we ask, right? And in Raj Yoga meditation, we get the answers. We get the connection with Supreme Soul, and we get the empowered and the knowledge to fight today's negativity, today's world, which is full of all these problems, issues, negativity. And so the solution is the knowledge. In the knowledge, when I know myself, when I know how to connect with Supreme Soul, and the meditation. So let's go into the meditation for a few minutes. Let's experience. Om Shanti. Sit comfortably. Both feet on the ground. You can keep your eyes open or closed. Put all of your responsibilities aside. Let's have the beautiful experience of who am I? Who truly the point of light, the being. I am the master of my mind. I am not the slave of my thoughts. I am not the victim of my emotions. I'm not the sum of past experiences. I'm not my thoughts. I'm not my feelings. I am the creator of my thoughts. I am the director of my feelings. I am master of my inner world. I, the soul, the pure being, powerful, consciousness. Peace is my original nature. I am embodiment of peace. I, the soul, powerful being, is master of my mind. My mind creates thoughts. My thoughts are like clouds in the sky. It comes and it goes. I, the soul, is like a sky, stable, calm, no resistance, no judgment. Just observe. And as the clouds fades away, as my thoughts, I stay strong. Stable. Loving. Now I have a knowledge of Supreme Soul. I, the soul, connect with my Father, my my teacher, my guide, my friend, who is also ocean of love, divine light. Radiating divine love. Unconditional love, peace, and purity. It heals me. All my emotional wounds. It dissolves my burdens. I, the soul, overflowing with divine love and peace. Melting all my fears, my doubts, I'm overflowing this divine peace. I find myself calm, stable, and radiating to others. They also find comfort, healing, the divine love, the unconditional love. Is healing me and others around me. I am an instrument to spread peace, love, it comes out in my words. I carry love in my each actions. I reclaimed the power over my mind. I feel inner authority over my mind. I guide my mind with wisdom and God's love. am the master of my mind. Om Shanti. Thank you. Anyone has a question?
Can you please repeat the seven virtues?
So, the seven virtues are peace, power, purity, love, wisdom, knowledge, bliss, happiness.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Om
Okay.
Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister. Wonderful meditation.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba.
Yeah. Om Shanti.